My name is Simon Bond. I'm the executive chef for Cork and Fork Orlando, a restaurant. I'm a hard-working single-family man who basically operates a restaurant level and a family level. So it's both full-time operation on either side. So juggling between each is interesting, but keeps me busy and out of trouble. I was born and raised in England, and I moved out after I graduated high school. So I turned 16. Followed my family to the American dream, as you say. Had a few odd jobs here and there getting my work permit. It was a little tough time, so a lot of under-the-table stuff got me into a restaurant. And it was just delivery driving, but I kind of observed what was going on in the kitchen more, and I kind of wanted to do that more than just taking the food to somebody. I started getting into the chain restaurants, started getting bored of the repetitiveness. Started going into more independently owned restaurants, working under chefs, and learning as much as I could. Everybody has their own unique philosophy on how they present and prepare food, and you just learn from them, take what you can get, and interpret your own personality into what you do. You can't maintain your kitchen if you're not in charge of your employees and in charge of the food. It's one and the same. Your restaurant name reflects who's preparing the food, how it's coming out, and if it's consistent. So you have to maintain your team are willing to create what you're creating and are willing to learn and execute. If they're not, I mean, you have a day off and everything hits the fan. So I'm lucky that I have a good team here. They're very susceptible to doing their job. They're happy to do what they do, and they're excited because they can have their own input too. So if I want to create a special, I like to receive ideas. It helps them feel proud because they have this little piece on a plate, and behind the scenes they don't get the recognition, but to themselves it gives them the passion to kind of learn more. I do like to be hands-on with my employees, but majority of the food that comes out has had my hands all over it to a certain extent. If it's either I've prepped the base sauce for it, or I'm garnishing, or I've actually cooked the dish itself. Predominantly, the majority of the food comes out has been touched somewhere by myself. And it's more personal, especially in the environment we're in, where it's a lot of family oriented community. We want to treat them like we would treat our family. And most of the people around us actually know who we are. They see us shopping in this community and giving back to, the local businesses. So it would feel shameful to not give something quality back to them. Everything you put out has to be better than the day before. If you're not going to evolve, you're going to become stagnant, and some people might want to stay with that because they're comfortable with it. But I think in the food industry, everything is changing so rapidly that you stand still for 1 minute, you're already behind. So it's fun. Every day's something new, and you can try 20 different recipes per day. 5 of them might work, 15 might not. But then the next day you try another 15, and it's a beautiful thing to be in. I'm not stuck in an office. Chefs aren't stuck in an office. We actually have the creativity to play with all different types of food based on your location, where you're from, what season it is. It's a big game of Minecraft with food, essentially. I mean, my children play Minecraft, and I watch how creative they become, and I try to just take that with what I can do with food and all the different crazy things that can happen. Most of my cooking for my family is for my children, and they're complete different ends of the spectrum. So, and this changes pretty much every 2 weeks. What they're comfortable eating is, 1 week it's mashed potatoes and gravy and turkey. The next week they hate it. It's got to be something else. So it's always a challenge. It's just like in the restaurant. You try to find what people like, and their tastes change as well. Most of the time I'm in the kitchen at home. Little time to relax, especially with the young children. Bedtime's the best time for me. When they're put to bed and the minute their eyes close, sit on the couch and just, worry about the next day. But at least I'm not on my feet, which is fun. I spend a lot of time cooking at home, definitely. You got to start at the bottom. You got to get in the trenches, and first you have to really observe and grasp the industry, and if you're going to be a successful restaurant, you need to be able to adapt. You need to be able to work under high stress environments, and you also have to keep a cool demeanor about yourself. Yeah, I started off as a dishwasher in England at 14 at a golf and country club, and 16 years later, this is where I am. But I've had to do a lot, as most kitchen employees and chefs have. They've been through the grime, and we've scrubbed fryers and we've cleaned walls, and we still do it. Just because we've become in a position we are, it has to be done. You treat your kitchen like you treat your house, and you should be proud of it. The main thing is just get in wherever. Start at the bottom, just keep working hard, and hopefully, if you're in a good environment, it gets noticed, and then somebody can take you under their wing and really give you their knowledge. They've been in the industry long enough, they've seen enough, and never assume that you know everything, especially with food, because there's so many recipes, there's so many different techniques. You just assume that you know nothing and just take it as a blank slate and just keep relearning every day. Well, the philosophy we have at our restaurant is the freshest that we can become to you. This is including every sauce that we make in-house. We have 2 versions of ketchup. We make our ranch dressing here. We make our blue cheese, our tartar sauces. We make every salad dressing here. So you're not getting any preservatives, any stabilizers or anything. You're just getting complete ingredients which have a shelf life of 7 days. So it's a constant. So if something sitting on its shelf in dry storage for 2 months, you're getting what's considered to be the freshest that we can do. Our seafood is fresh, comes in nice. Our produce is beautiful. We pride ourselves on not giving you a frozen item, not giving you something out of a can, putting it on a plate. We manipulate it to the point of where we are happy with the quality of the product, and we're going to keep doing it and keep doing it. And I believe people notice the difference, and more people are becoming aware of what they're putting into their body. There's this conscious awakening where they don't want the processed high fructose goods. They're tired of putting that sort of junk in their body. People are wanting to become healthier, and if you can't have the time to exercise or change your diet at home, then at least we can do that for you here. I can't offer you the exercise. I can probably get you to wash some dishes. That'll be fun, sweat it off a bit, but no, I feel good that we're giving you good quality products. It's the freshest I can do without putting ourselves way out of the price point, and I feel good about it. A lot of hard work to get to doing that for you guys. So opening this restaurant was my first concept design into creating, into executing. So I've run kitchens before, but this was me from the beginning to open to where we are now, to what we are going to be in the future. So it was a big landmark in my life. I felt that I have a good owner who can understand and give input. He has a lot of experience as well. So it was a perfect environment, especially being in my community. Everything I do is within a 4-mile radius here. So I've known this area for 12, 13 years now. So it's a beautiful thing for myself and my career, and what we can give back to the community.